Hello, welcome back. This is Tradespotting. I'm Jamie. Please hit the like button. Welcome back. And it is back, isn't it? It is welcome back, isn't it? And it's Monday, which means Tradespotting's Monday Milk. And we're trying out something new. I'll look at whatever you want me to, but I'll only do 60 seconds on it. The ghost of Dan used to be Daniel Assange. It's a whole new guy with a whole new icon and everything. It's a whole new man. Welcome back, Dan. Okay, thanks. RR, not going up anymore. You reckons? Well, what we've got here is Rolls Royce. It's in a channel that may be a downward sloping channel. A series of lower lows and lower highs. You've had this recovery, but only to the 786 from your high down. If we were to draw a touch on, maybe it's your 886, but you've not even got past your golden pocket really on this move up here. Not for a body close, body close. Well, you have, right? You got to your 786. I was right the first time. I should have just shut my mouth after that. Anyway, you've dropped below your 200 period moving average, but you've got this sloping potential demand line here. You drop below it once. Price action left a gap. Closed above it again. Back 200 period moving average. 50 cross below it. And then here you've got a recovery likely to be tested. Your 18 period moving average, if it is on the 18, let me triple check. Yes. Holding price action down 15-minute price period, time frame. Look at that. See your low in there previous, 382, bounced back up, held to 0.5. That's very positive. So, you know, how does this turn out? Good, right? Probably good. The horizontal resistance above you is strong. You've got areas to aim for. It probably works out totally fine. It's just if you haven't entered it yet and you haven't got anything and you're looking to do so, and you're thinking, well, is this going to be a pennant that results out of this bull flag? And are these higher targets going to be hit now? That's the 1618, the 1414, 1618 of your fib that measures the move down to your all-time, your most recent local low. And then these are your targets, right? Is they've been there since we drew them on when you were at 78 or whatever. Now it's 142. Still, that's still a target. It's just there's loads of profit-taking targets along the way, loads and loads of them. And then re-entries, 236 there would be fantastic. It would be just such an incredible re-entry. It's just unlikely you'll get it, but that would be where I'd put a freaking chunk of money down. It's the low if this channel continues. If this horizontal doesn't hold, which I don't anticipate it doing so. It's just it would be interesting because I've still got something in the trade, so I'd aim for these targets again. That's up at 153, spot 28, or in even higher. You know, right? I've got other reasons to look to 165. These are the two big targets on this move that you can see on 4-hour time frame. It's pretty clear what I'm talking about here. You had this drop down. Whoops, moving all the lines. These are important lines, don't move them. You had this drop down here in Rolls Royce. This is your, or somewhere over here, right, was your high, and then you had your low in here. And this is the Fibonacci that you're looking at when you look at the extensions of this move. Does it go back up to the 1, 2 point? This is actually a different one. Where is this one coming from? This must be, no. This is this tiny wee leg. Okay, well, you've got your bigger Fibonacci here. Coming from, presumably this is from the big, where is it? Is it this one? Aye, that's up here. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so I mean, you're looking at that. I think could you get to the 786, the 886? Quite likely. It's also this extension on this smaller Fibonacci on the right hand side of this inverted head and shoulders just happens to come up to the same place on the 2414, which is all the way up at $230. But before you get there, you've got the previous 1618 and 1414 of that extension, which is up at 153, and then the next one 164. And so there's still a little bit left on that. I expect that it might test it. It's just a question of how many times does it test its support on the way up. All the horizontals are what these awful mess is. This is a Fibonacci that measured our drop down from wherever the heck. Got long positions in here that we took, well, some people did, and then re-entries and whatnot as well. So you've got this Fibonacci. Where does it come from, Gemma? Here, okay, this high. This low to this high, okay, fair enough. So I don't really need that on the chart anymore. And then over here, this Fibonacci is this mirror in this one on the left, is it? Yes. So I don't particularly need this one, but it's clear for everybody to see than this, probably. Yeah, so here you go. This is the big Fibonacci on the right that was also doubled up. You've got another long entry. It comes into 236 of this previous Fibonacci, right? Retrace down here, follow this channel down. Still could be like a bull flag. Be copying what it had done a number of times before. if it jumps up again and then drops down, and we see a 236, could catch this diagonal sloping supply line, the band line, pardon my French. And then you've got obvious areas, like this is like a huge move on the table here, right? If it does take you up to that full extension, which is also the measured move from the inverted head and shoulders, I'll go back and look at that because we're on the 4-hour time frame and I've done Rolls Royce, and this is by no means a 60-second T8 like I was planning. It's totally gnarly, ruined down, ready. Well, the measured move on Rolls Royce is $230. So we catch it at the demand line on this like macro trend, and then that's represented with like significant moving averages on the 4-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame. Similar, right? They'll probably catch up by the time price action's down here. 236, 200 period moving average, 1-hour time frame. That's significant. It would be following this channel down, and then you get the measured move on the top side if you go through your first targets at the 1414, 1618. Those Fibonacci we talked about earlier is on. It's even easier to see on the daily time frame. Here's your inverted head and shoulders with like fairly obvious shoulder, head, and then this right shoulder, which starts to move right, but not completely done it yet. And retests are fine. And within here, the measure move. This is from this low to the neckline. Take it across, drop it on top of that. You see, it also makes it up to the 2414 or thereabouts, right? Which is also the breakdown area from this previous area. And it's the measure move on the inverted head and shoulders. And so that all ties together, right? And it all makes it look like that's a nice thing to trade, right? And it is, and it's great, and it's done fantastic for a lot of people, and it's great, and I'm happy with it. Very happy with it. And how it's managed to do it at the exact timing that helps me get in and out of it in the right way. Have all my initial position. I've got exactly the same position, and will have a larger one should it drop down to these areas that I'm talking about. Yet I've made over 100% profit in the way I've traded it to get here. And so, like, yeah, I still obviously believe there's lots on the target, on the table, except I'm not playing with my money anymore, although it is, because I earned it by fucking knowing what was going on. But yeah, whatever, you know, the point being, the risk is reduced significantly from what it was when I first started looking at this. Now, so what else am I looking at? Oh yeah, it got out enough in time. I made enough money that I was able to put into orders in for other things, and you're getting retests on this here now, filling up the position I'm looking to take on EVGO, which Rocky brought to my attention initially because of a list of like really attractive companies. I'm not the wrong camera here. Rocky Outcrop's channel, Rocky Outcrop. He's my brother. He did this professionally and does it all the time now on YouTube. It's Rocky Outcrop. YouTube, search him, Rocky Outcrop. And his TA on AMC is incredible today. It's incredible. It's the best TA you'll see on AMC in 2021. Check out that video. It's today. It's just a little clip of AMC. It's incredible. Watch it. And 100% highest possible recommendation for everybody to watch that. If you want to learn about TA, or if you're interested in AMC at all, or if you're thinking about targets, or you're looking at pivot points, or you're interested in entries, or you're interested in take profits, or you're interested in stop losses, or you're interested in knowing how to do it depending on what price action, exactly what to do at every stage, and you want to know about AMC or anything, but AMC is the subject. It's relevant to right now, and it's the best TA you'll see likely in the next couple of months on anything, and certainly on AMC for the rest of this year. It is by a significant distance. I can't recommend it highly enough. And Rocky talked to me about potential companies that looked really good that also happen to have female CEOs, because there's like from a pragmatic and trading point of view, there is an extra interest in certain things that could lead them to getting more attention in the news, and then them doing significant things on the charts as a consequence of a series of perceptions about these type of companies. And whether or not you agree with the idea that female CEOs have got anything to do with your trading or not, that could actually have a really positive effect on this company for other completely cynical reasons, which, I mean, in the original sense of the word, philosophical sense of the word cynicism. And it could make you a lot of money, right? So EVGO, not only that, we were looking through these things, and he was looking at ones that had the best possible potentials based on the charts. And EVGO is a fantastic option for a number of reasons. And now you've just got it at its lows, when Rolls-Royce has come into clear take profit areas and given you like an option on something that might be an incredible trade. And so that was one aspect of it. And then we happened to mention it on the internet, and then got other information that made us subsequently to that point, which made us very, very interested in what's happening with EVGO. Just from a like very, very limited take on it from here. Right now, this is in no way pushing my own book because I'm still trying to get in on this, right? So, as much as I'd like, right, you know, at the right times. So, and this is the area, right? Because you've got this fallen wedge, right? I could draw it differently, right? I also can't really be fucked, but here it is. It's something like this. You broke out of the top side of it. You came up, you tested your 50-period moving average on the daily time frame, having broken out of this formation, and it's likely that you go on and do something more. It's also the sort of thing to get from your first low to your first high. Now, right, you could draw this in loads of different ways, right? That could actually be a huge line, bigger on both sides, but I'm not here to like blow smoke up your arse, right? There's the measured move from the breakout of this wedge would take it up to over $11 at 7.97 at the minute. That's a huge percentage move. You might think, oh, $7 to 11, that doesn't say very much. That's just fucking shitloads, right? And you got a 200 period moving average coming in here, right? Your 50, break that, hold it, follow up maybe your 55 exponential, even better, your 18 period exponential, fantastic. Which is at the minute just hovering above recent price action, right? So that would be the starting zone. Once you recover your 50, get picked up by the 18, maybe you take out the 200, maybe you stop there. You've got a measured move that comes in just below 1170, and that's just the start, right, of how you get into the similar situation that I'll have talked about in the tail end of that Rolls-Royce TA, about how you can get in it, and in a couple of months' time, you can be looking back at this and say, wasn't it nice? Right, and how now all my money, I've got all my money that I put into that trade, I've got all of it back, and I've got this other trade which is on the same thing, and it's all of the same amount of money. Amazing, right? And how did I magic up that money? Well, it was because you see these things. This is daily time frame. You look at it on a weekly time frame, zoom out, right? This is just done like the full extent of a beautiful harmonic, and the measuring move on this could be fucking crazy, right? It could be like something up like $24. Right, it could be up at $24, and that's like just the TARS, right? That's just the TARS. There are other areas where you'd look to take profit, right? Because you want to be building up a position. I'm not saying any of this is going to happen. It might fall straight on its fucking arse and you'd lose everything you put into it. So bear that in mind. This isn't financial advice. This is just having a laugh, right? In some sense, it's pure madness. And you've got a number of obvious take profit areas along the way, right? That's just here. And you've got other ones, and some of them are closer than others. And right, you have to manage your risk, which means like the downside, right? That's the managing the downside. So you got to do that, and then you have to execute properly, and that means on both sides of the trade. So you'll also have to do the take and profit thing, right? And it's important to do that, especially on things like this. And if you come to this party because of GME or AMC and you're not used to that, well, get used to it over here because you're going to have to do it at some point. Right, in some way or in some fashion, unless you're really smart and you know how to use different instruments. Anyway, onto EVGO, right? You've got a number of places to go to. You could just like, you draw them like that. You could take them out and draw them on a Fibonacci, and you say, there's your 236, and you've come up and touched it once. Recover that. You're going to aim for at least the 50%, right? The 382, sure, that's where your first take profit is. That's where your measured move is. That might give you, after that, a retest of the 236, of some horizontal or of a level within the Fibonacci it puts in on that move when you do it from your low to whatever high, and then are able to drop it down because it's made it to a 236 and can then have a valid Fibonacci. And if you don't understand how to do Fibonacci, search how to Fibonacci Tradespotting on YouTube and you'll get the best video in the world on how to learn Fibonaccis. And it really is, right? And you can watch it 100 times and you'll still learn something. So here's your, and it's a short video, so you can watch it once and you'll learn fuckloads. And anyway, so here's your easy get started on profitable trading without killing yourself. And then it's not a joke, right? And then up at 618, great, yeah, you got $15 in that. And so maybe it goes up 100%, and it would be easy to manage that trade with a trailing stop, or do it manually and use Williams fractals. Now that name of that indicator has absolutely no relation to anything that you might be thinking about. And then Or you could just do it simply yourself using horizontal support and resistance, and you could even do it using this chart, right? And I wouldn't even mind if you screenshotted it. You could do it there. That's 0 oscillators. The whole thing's on the chart there. It's weekly time frame. You can get it yourself. There's the lines though. They're all dead obvious. If you know how to draw a Fibonacci, you'll get them yourself. It's at the 236, at the 0.5, and then the 618, which we call the golden pocket. And if you recover them along the way, you'll be able to manage it on that way alone. If you slap on your moving averages, and you go down to the 4-hour time frame, you'll get a clearer picture of what's going on in terms of trend. If you go down to the 1-hour time frame, you might even be able to get in and out of that trade. Here's your cross on the 1 hour. It went positive as price action fell through it. It's not exactly a very bullish signature. You come up though at the end of that and put in, nice, this is not a reversal formation yet, although you did have a good move. You want to recover this 18-period moving average and prices to go up. If you're already in the trade. If you're like me and you're looking for a little bit extra, you don't mind when you see it down here earlier. And you certainly don't mind to see any other tests of this breakout, the diagonally sloping breakout, which is relevant, right? Here's on the weekly time frame. Right? And it's like it had a number of touches. And sure, maybe we're on it right now. Maybe we're on it, maybe we're on it, maybe we're on it. This is the first week outside of it, a weekly outside of it. And then an open afterwards. Fantastic. It looks good to me. Can we have a big chart, please? Oh, fuck. I didn't do any of that in the big chart. Well, shit happens, isn't it? That's even less chart. Well, it could have been worse. That's what that means. It could have been worse. There's a big chart. Sorry, CD Punkai. It is. And again, if you want to be doing this properly and managing your trades and improving your life, then it's highly, highly recommended that you're subscribed to Rocky Outcrop's channel and you don't miss a minute of his shows. Tradespotting, the chart is a bit small, my lord. Thanks. Look, CD Burn Guy, Sergey Guy got me. Thanks. Thanks everybody for looking out there. This is what I was thinking, right? I can just see the price levels, the interesting ones above you that I would call to. I mean, right, where do you want to manage your risk, right? If you're absolutely shitting a brick and you think this is going to go to 0, then you probably don't want to hold on it after it goes below, let's say, at worst case scenario, if you hate giving up any trades or any stop loss, $6.88, right? Below that, I wouldn't be interested either. Though I would have other areas for my own stop loss. I'm not giving out my own trades, every fucking detail of them, right? Though I would say, like, this is kind of doing it. Here, you've got your loads of re-entries. These prices follow this diagonal, which you can draw yourself using this high. You can draw it as accurately or as inaccurately as you want. Who cares, right? It could be like that, and you could have completed the full, right? And you probably did, right? And people will have traded that way. And similarly, got a number of touches here, and you got a breakout. You touched it. Maybe this is this on the weekly. Maybe you're outside it, and maybe this is your second weekly, right? But manage your risk. Be sensible. Look at it and draw it yourself, and then make your own mind up. And this isn't financial advice. You could recover the 236, and you could go on at the 618, and that'd be a real typical easy peasy trade. Within it, there's loads of other lines, right? The horizontal levels that are important above you are 969. Shout out Luke Spears, and then 1066. Shout out England, and then 1359. I mean, that's important somewhere in the world. And the 618 is up at 1520, which is where you would be looking at that stage. You would have definitely taken some profits. It would be 100% increase in price. So, right, any more than that, you'd have to say that you're a greedy person. And then when it all fell flat on its face, you'd have to say everything was completely and utterly ridiculously your own fault. And you were there in touching distance of just making a difference in your own life and getting into good habits. But instead, you didn't do it and decided that you were going to aim for the moon and watch the price come back down and everybody else get like their pie, have the money and the drugs, right? So then anyway, up here, you're looking for the full extension of that move. Should you get above 1650, then you'd be looking for it to target up at $22. At least you'd be looking at $20, right? You'd be screaming for $20 at that stage. And the truth is, it could go way, way, way higher. This thing could be up at $40 in a couple of years' time. Easy peasy. Say a couple of years, because it's what I manage people's expectations. But, you know, it didn't take that long to do all of this. It took less than 2 years. So, you know, there you go. Right. EVGO, this is not a 60-second TA episode at all, is it? Tradespotting, EVGO, is there a hidden bullish divergence on RSI in the 1 hour interval? Hidden bullish divergence on RSI on what? 1 hour, 1 hour, RSI, hidden bullish divergence. I'll auto-fy that. I mean, the wicks. We're looking at these lows. What lows are we looking at? These ones, the body close, body close. This wick lower, price action not as low on the RSI, and not only is Stefan completely and utterly right that you've got hidden bullish divergence, but you've also at the same stage tested this bearish control zone and bounced away from it and recovered your own moving average on Outcrop's RSI EMA. If you've not got this indicator, you can get it for free. You'll have to follow Outcrop on YouTube to get it. Not that you don't have to, I'm just not telling you. If you get it over there, he'll tell you about it. Just ask him. And then you get, yes, you're looking to recover the 50%, the 50 line on the RSI. And if that happens, this price action's up here above what might be like a significant area of resistance at the time of $8.16. While the RSI was pushing or hitting above this center line here at the 50%, at a 50, that would be fantastic. And if at the same time you've still got your own moving average, we'll expect to go up and test the bullish control zone, which will take price action up to the next horizontal, which is either body close, body close, or the wick high in around 827. I know that's not all that far away, but this is how you do trades, right? You have to manage them like this. And I know that afterwards you might say, well, that didn't turn out to be anything. It was fine there. And it's like, yeah, great, but it's still worth keeping an eye out, right? Anyway, so then above that, you've got this period, 200 period moving average is crossing the 50 period. But by the time price action gets there up this area, these will both have come down a little bit. And if we get there really, really fast, you'll look to the left and see this horizontal and see price action likely comes in and tests at around 847, 848, 849. But there's other areas looking left that you'll be interested into. And we drew these on for different reasons. When we were looking at our own horizontals on the bottom leg of this move. But when you look left, it's the body close of this low in this previous move, and then it's this recovery area, and then it's the breakout zone, and then that went on to form like the start of what is potentially like this turning into a positive accumulation pattern and a bullish accumulation via this wedge, as opposed to some downward sloping channel, which, you know, it still could be. Depends how you do your shit. We're back at EVGO again. How did this happen? Did we ever get off it? Right, AMCTA. I'm not doing it because there's no better to, like, this is fucking fantastic though. Look at that. Oh my god. My lines. What chart? What camera are we at? It's so good. And this is how good this is. And I am telling you, like, this is better than anything you, like, whatever. I'm preaching to the fucking choir here. Go and check out Rocky. It's better than this, and this is better than anything you're likely to find in your life. And Rocky's twice as good as that. 50 period moving average there. Recover that at around 38 and change. Fantastic. So you're aiming for 38, and you want an open and close on the 4-hour time frame. An hour probably enough, but a 4-hour time frame, open close above there. Fantastic. Then you'll hit $40 in your 200 period moving average, where you may want to take profit and enter a game when it drops down. I don't know how people trade AMC. It's not the way I trade it, but I know other people might be wanting to do that. That'd be bad. But, you know, some people do. And then you would be coming up and you'd be hitting the 50 period moving average at 43 and drop down. You take your 200 period at $40 and you might enter it again. And that'd be the way the bastards trade AMC that make loads of money. And, you know, they would be doing that, you know, and who's to blame them, right? Because fuck it, right? It's not going to be the thing that causes them loss at the end of the day. So I don't really, you know, and that's not how I do it, and I don't recommend it, but people do. But I don't give, but people do it. I don't want them living with guilt because it isn't real. Anyway, so there you go. There's your AMCTA. If you don't like it, go over to Rock Outcrop. He's better at it. There, and if you don't like it, what's wrong with you? So you've got horizontal levels here, and oh, they've been proved to be so good on this channel, haven't they? Doing the GME, how come we're just straight on here? What's times? Price markets have closed, obviously they have. So it's closed 171.36 and 171.90 on aftermarket, post-market. So your horizontal level, the most recent one, 168, 169. We had that, we talked about that so many times before it happened. That should there not be some, I've got, like, where is it? I'm expecting any day now. I'm going to not answer the door, and there's going to be a trophy. It'll be a trophy for me. And I'll be like, yeah, nice one, thought so. And I'll be able to put it up there in the background and be like, there you go. my trophy. I'm better than everybody else. Blah, 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 blah. In the meantime, I hope it's helping people get good entries. So you got your 169. Get any more of that? I'll get more of that if it gets down here again. If it gets down to 151, that'll be the last time I buy it for a while, because then I'd be looking for drops further down, you know, $120 or below there, you know, if it did drop below 150, though I would be buying it there. And when I say waiting, I'd be waiting to buy more of it, because I would be buying more of it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I thought it could get down here in a fake out of this larger formation, which on the 4-hour sort of fits on the charts and keeps the candle bars visible. Here's now everything disappearing, turning an orange mush. You can see there is some white lines, and it's this ascending triangle. The price action has been put in at least that sort of thing, right? You could even say like it's actually this bullish accumulation, or it's an upward sloping channel, right? Now I've drawn this before and done the TA that way. Bing, what does that one mean? Bing, what does that Bing mean? Ah! Salamander. I can see it, Sal, there. And it goes to Dan beforehand. Thanks, you two. Much appreciated. And I see Overdrive, Chris, do we need to get that's the reminders of the members that comes up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then it goes to Dan and Sal. Much appreciated. All the money in GME. Why are they holding me down? Tim Brown. It was no, now it's Tim Brown. Let's do that. What's up with Hib? Keep up excellent work. Super chatted. Thanks very much, Tim. I see that one. Shib. Oh, it's Shibby. Shibby. Tim Brown. Tim Brown, are you my barber? I don't know you're not though, but I told are you though? I told my barber about this. You know, he was like, that wasn't Shib, was it? It was something else. It was Shibu. It was Shibu coin. We'll have a look at Shib in a minute. What is up with? I don't know. Let's definitely check that out, Tim. And before Sal, thanks. I don't know where it came from or what you said, Sal, but it's appreciated. Hey, Kalani types at Tradespotting to get his attention more easily. He often uses the 50 and the 200 space. Thanks. 50 and 200 period moving average. There's also the 18 and 55 exponential moving average on that particular. The 18 is yellow, the exponential 55 is green. What's up with the shape? And just at me, Tradespotting. If I'm reading the chat, I'll see it. Though I wasn't reading the chat right there because I thought I was doing the TA. No, sorry, that was my bad. I was looking at the wrong camera, and I'm about to do it again. I'm not, because I was going to finish this GME chat. Obviously, because I'm enjoying myself at this point. So yeah. So like, you know, do you follow this channel? Likely, right? Because previous peaks likely proved to be resistance, right? Here's something I've said before. That comes in at the same place as a Fibonacci time zone. The full end of this move that measures our previous all-time low to our all-time high. So it's relevant as fuck. Within this, you've got this upward sloping channel. Are we likely to see another test on the top side of this, where this comes in at, right? Because this is what technical analysis is. Everyone misunderstands technical analysis. That's why they say it doesn't work. Where's the camera? It's over here. I know what it is, right? They think that it doesn't work because they think that what it attempts to do is to predict future price action. That's not what it attempts to do. That's what someone who's really good at it, with experience, who's also on a fucking roll, may someday be able to do, which is what I and Rocky happen to be really good at and in the mode at the moment, right? And proven to be very successful. It just happens to be that way. Can't argue with it. It's a fact. And that's what we do. But technical analysis is about understanding technical problems. Like, this is why it helps to have an engineering mindset, because you understand that. So you get, what you do is you give yourself a problem to solve, a technical problem, and you solve it by analyzing technical entities. So there has to be something for you to analyze, right? So the fact that I can look at a chart, or Rocky especially, you know, looks at a chart and boom, sees loads of technical entities, already has the question in mind, and so can work towards an answer logically, and that'll give you, you know, some understanding of, like, when you first look at a chart, you're like, what am I looking for? Well, those things, that's what you're looking for. And here there's loads of those in different ways. You've got horizontal levels that are dictated by horizontal right, by the price action, where it came in, body closes, wicks, and they're very, very important. They've dictated price action throughout this period of time. On top of that, you've got other ones drawn in because of important Fibonacci lines from all the different formations that we've been through recently. And then I've taken the ones that are less relevant away and left those that are important for recent price action and for moves that we're likely to see off the back of this particular point of the market, right? And so the question you'll ask yourself is, many people will be asking themselves, is this going to break down, right? They'll be saying that to themselves. We say, is this going to break down? They'll look at the fundamentals, they'll compare it to other fundamentals, and they'll say, we don't believe, right? And that's fine, because you don't have to believe. It's a company in a period of transition, and you're going to see different aspects looking better on different companies when that's happening, because they're trying to convert and turn around and go into a period of growth. And to do that, and that change like so much of the essence of a company does take longer than it might take, to read a newspaper or whatever. So today's day and age, people want to see shit happen immediately. But there's a brick and mortar store that's trying to do a lot of different things. And to do that, it takes a while. So anyway, I don't know how I got into that part of this conversation. We've got a number of things going on here. Horizontals, what we're talking about, Fibonacci's, and then why these levels are still on the chart and are so important to what I think the trades at the minute. This is, So a lot of people will be looking at this thing and is it going to break down? And that's a perfectly legitimate question. And other people will be saying, this is a fantastic place to enter. Look at price action historically. It seems like, and they'll be saying, speculating from a bullish case, right? And asking, is this the place to buy? And where does it go to? Does it likely go up to, and I define up here as this being relevant now. Also, I think in terms of answering other questions about MOAS and defeating the bearish case with regards to Wyckoff distribution, and where you need to open and close weekly candles in order to do that and to defeat that case, and so that you'd completely defeated the short thesis on GameStop, and they acknowledged that it was in a period of growth and that it was likely to make a parabolic move in the first instance of that. Then at that stage, I think you need to get an open and close on the weekly chart at $343. Open, close, open, right? So whatever it does in between, all three of those events have to happen above $343, at which point I'll turn my eyes green on Twitter. Does that happen when the full Fibonacci time zone has been completed in and around the first couple of weeks of December, coming up to Christmas? Maybe, right? Does that mean that you defeated that, or does it mean that price action has made a spurt up here and you forget that x-axis and that idea of what happens on opens and closes, which for the first instance, is best to measure and analyze price action as it happens. And so although like my technical analysis is about lighting the path ahead, there's certain twists and turns that you can't really be predicting until you've got the ones that are immediately ahead of you, which are obviously down here. But this is what people will be thinking. My question is, after having done all of this and thought about all of these other things, actually, like the third part of that question, where's it going then? And then I think the price is going up to, get the hell out of my way, at $493. That's what I think price action likely does over the next, we'll see, right? But that depends on a number of other things. One being, is this going to break down, would be the first question. And second question would be, is this a good place to buy then? And then third question would be then, like I say, well, where the fuck is it going? And like the first one, is it going to break down? Well, we talked about this on Friday's deleted video. It was fucking amazing. If you weren't there for Trade Sloshing Fridays, I don't know where you were, because it's the best place in the world to be, is watching on Fridays. It was brilliant. Thanks everybody who was there. I had the best fucking time. So in here you've got this RSI pattern that price action has been doing since it's been up here and since this company changed to what is the new GameStop, with a completely new strategy, a new CEO, and $1 billion, right? And paid off all their debt. And so you're looking at this and you're thinking, right, what was it been doing? Well, it came in, the RSI went up to, like, if you were to turn off these drawings, which we can easily just hide them for a second anyway, price action, it was in its real peaks here above the bullish control zone at the three peaks on price action, right? This is the most recent one. The fourth one is a much lower high. So you got to bear that in mind. But there's 1, 2, 3, and then debatably another one. And within this, price action retreated and then made another move. This one subsequently higher on certain time frame body closes. This is super helpful. Thank you, Tradespotting. My brain is growing at first wrinkle. Excellent. You're welcome. No fucking problem. And And so what were we talking about? Why did my mind jump to that at the moment? Anyway, I think I want to go into a cup of tea. Oh, there you go, mate. So anyway, so what RSI dropped down. It was in these points that the price action was most positive, and when it was at the bottom, was at its most negative. No, these were all just accumulation zones, which was proved later, right? They were all just accumulation. Everything here. Price action up again. What happens next time? CD1 guy super chat. Wow, that's huge on the screen. Massive. Why is this so massive up there? I got trades lost and all I got was this unreasonable t-shirt. Yo, rotten, stinking, festering corpse of colon super chat. $5. Thank you very much. Appreciated. Very, very much. It's really much appreciated. Thanks. And welcomes for everybody who said thanks. So, and then you've got, right, what was I talking about? The RSI at this point. Yeah, so just fucking turn the drawings back on. Anyway, you can see it, right? When it was extremely extreme, great points. Quite obvious how to pick this up and what you're doing with this and how to manage your expectations at the very least, if not a lot more. And then at the lower side of it, you've got these areas where 1, 2, 3 came at your 1, 2, 3 lows after this previous high, right? At which point, you know, price action did something that you could then say was like, maybe you could say that RSI was, you could analyze it because you could say that, well, it was at its high, price action was at its high, it was at its low, price action was at its low. And then it tested it another couple of times, at which point price action put in a series of lower highs, right? And what is that indicative of? Well, it's indicative of a wedge breakout. It just so happened that the wedge wasn't on price action as obviously as it was on the RSI. And the wedge pattern itself, right? All of these patterns, I don't know why other people insist on using them like they're Fisher Price tools. They're not, right? They represent the psychology of market participants. And so you can find them in different ways and see that psychology in other places. And it's a bit obvious anyway, isn't it? That everybody's buying this thing and nobody's fucking selling it. That's a bit obvious already anyway. So here you've got that on the RSI. That's what it says. Everyone's buying this. That's what that ends up saying. It's bullish accumulation pattern. Despite the fact that it looks like it's going down, it's a counterintuitive thing to say. Within that, you can see it tested the bearish control zone, came back up, tested the center line, came back down, was lower again, as is like after the initial drop, which you could say like, well, at that point they're falling off the building. So, you know, you don't know what's going to happen, isn't it? Then there was a bounce, right? So they came back up and then it's like, well, are they going to go even all, it's like they didn't hit the ground again, despite the fact that the RSI did, price didn't. And that's a bullish divergence, which Stefan was talking about earlier on EVGO in the 1 hour. What's that noise? And then, and so, right, I've explained that concept, what happened there with the retest and the breakout and what price action did and the divergences and how obvious it really was, like at the time, if you're good at technical analysis, like, which turns out nobody really is, other than myself and Rocky Outcrop. Then it came up to the top of the price. Anyway, look, it did it again twice, right? Now it's the third time it's doing it, right? Okay, it's dead fucking obvious, speaks for itself. Does it look like it's going to break down? So no, right? No. There's a lot of people think it is. Yeah, they're crazy. It's also an inverted head and shoulders. It comes at the bottom of that downtrend that we're talking about. It's within this upward sloping channel. It's a higher low. It's again a series of higher lows. The RSI says it's about to break out bullishly. It may then test that area again. Let's see, you know, people are afraid because it's at low of a channel. Oh my God, oh my God. I keep looking at the wrong camera. Oh my God, oh, that's even worse. And then you're below the 200 period moving average. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. And then you're like, oh, the 50 period as well, and it's below the 200. Oh my God. And you're worried. I'm so worried. And then you're like, but no, actually, like, nah, that's just funnies. Hey, they lose loads of money. And ensure if you want it, like, you know, there's ways to manage the trades, easy peasy, right? And some of those people are like, oh, I want to jump in it and go short. That's different, right? They'll be looking at this and they'll have their own areas for taking profits and for managing risk and so on. And to be completely honest with you, literally none of them are going to work from here. It would only work if price action got below these lower levels of support at 145. At that point, your risk management becomes legitimate and your targets have to be really, really close to where you're going down, like less than a 10% move, which means like, what's the fucking point in that, right? There is no point in taking those trades with that risk. And it's not just the risk that in terms of how you can quantify what you'd lose. It's also the statistical probabilities of going short on something like GME. And this is like a concept that nobody seems to fucking understand. The only person you'll ever get likely even remotely come close to talking about it is Rocky Outcrop when he talks about your buying and selling risk, right? And so you're going to have to measure the risk, and a little bit of that is like limiting your risk, but there's also ways you can measure it, right? Now, Rocky will probably, I don't know, has he talked about this yet? Anyway, it's very, 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 very complicated, and it's right at the top of the fucking tree after you've learned everything else. Then you might want to learn about how certain statistical probabilities play out, right? And so one thing that I touch on now is, and it's important as, right, is that slight deviations to the mean within the standard deviation of the range have extreme effects on the extremities of the range, right? Which means if something has like got the inherent daily volatility of something like GME, what's going to happen on a volatile day on the market as a whole? Well, everything's going to be volatile as fuck, and GME is going to go fucking crazy and will explode, right? And that's just a fact, right? It's not me that invented the statistical probabilities, though it is me that likes to call everybody who's so stupid to go short that they're a fanny, right? And that's what you are. If you're thinking about trading this on the other side of it and you're asking the question, is this going to go down? Well, there's never a knowable answer, right? But to the question is, how do we then trade it? If it's you can't even trade it properly if it's going down. You can't. You have to wait till it gets to other areas, retest them, then get in on shit moves for a shit percentage gain. And so the only reason you do it is because you're a fanny, right? Anyway, so math says good, right? Math says great. And so you're looking at this and you're thinking, well, all of these things, all of these reasons why it's probably a good idea to go. And then you're like, well, what is the top side of this move? Or is this a good place to enter? Sorry, yeah. So you're looking at this, there's perhaps it's an inverted head and shoulders. At which point you're thinking, well, what are the definable levels where a good place to enter? If you haven't already got some GME, then what are you doing? But these were them here, right? These two were those entry points that turned out to be excellent. You got your retest here. Again, was another entry. Should you get anywhere near there again, it would be one. Don't think you will. Lower side of this move, you come in, tested that horizontal here. That was your entry again. Should you get there again, that's potentially another entry. Does it get there though, right? Does it get there? Because you've already potentially broken out of this wedge thing that I've drawn on here. If you do it more accurately, you certainly have. Here's your touch, there's your touch, and then you've got your initial ones. Oh, that's it there. Right, so you have to have 3 to make it valid. So we'll give it like 1, 2, and then it's like gone up, touched it. That's the third, and then moved through it, come back, retested it, and then it's on top of the bearish control zone, right? So shortly it'll capture its own moving average, even if it stays where it is, at which point it'll turn very bullish, and it's only made it to the center line of this sloping channel. And how do channels break out, right? Well, price action tests the top, traces it down, gets to the center line, decides this isn't for me, and fucks off again to either the top or the bottom, whichever it previously just came from. And that's what it's done here. So likely it does that move. And where do you enter? Well, beforehand, right? Before the move, not after, right? So when do you buy GME? Every fucking day! Every day! But your answer's there. It's there in orange. And then you got other answers too, to other questions, right? And then you've got a 50 period crossing below the 200. What does that say? Well, a lot of people think that that's negative. Well, I'll tell you what it means is price action is going to test that fucking hypothesis out. It's going to test it out. And it happens up at 194 bucks. Basically, essentially, it's happening around 200 bucks. So like price action, when it gets up at that area, I'll have a new question. It's like, am I going to go to 200? You know, and what does it say when it's at 194? And the question is, am I going to go to 200? She says, yeah, I probably am. Yeah, I probably am. Anyway, so that's the GMETA, basically, essentially, whatever. Go down to the 15-minute time frame. You've got this other, like, you know, here's your RSI on more detail. You can see you've tested that previous resistance line once, 2, 3 times, and now you've come off it. Is that the end of it? You've got a lower low there on price action, but your RSI is like equal low, so that's like class B, hidden bullish divergence. If you can go that far, there isn't really, you'd like to see other confirmation should it be true. You've had a close, and that's maybe, has that done it already, the volatility, the change price at that point, now you're back at it. It's just hard to say. I'd expect more on it than that. May get a move if it's to the bottom. You've got horizontal again at 169. where we talked about this is the answer again. If you want to get it or buy it now, or you can get it there, right? It's like eBay, buy it now, or I'll just put a bid in there, right? And you might not get it if you put a bid in there. It's the way eBay works. It's also the way this should work better if I was on charts, wouldn't it? Every so often, I can. So, so whatever, like 50-minute time frame, same picture, right? Here's your Class B bullish, hidden bullish divergence, maybe. Here's your volatility picture, maybe. And your momentum says, hey, maybe I'm also, I am bullishly, like I am, there's potential. It depends. If you're talking about an uptrend here, there's a potential, right, for some move to the top side. If you're talking about this in terms of a downtrend, maybe not. I don't know exactly what that's telling us yet. You can't be sure. 15-minute time frames. I'd like to see the RSI recover its own moving average and test the center line again. 1, 2, 3 higher highs, having not broken through a horizontal resistance on price, to come back and test another area on RSI, see where price action is. It's currently below this previous resistance, so that's not great, and it's below its RSI, so that's not great. So it may well be that this 18 period or this 50, which is higher at 174.95, but who cares about that, may prove to be the resistance temporarily until you prove yourself on the horizontal level, which is at 169. Right, Atlas Spear. So there you go. That's your TA and GME. It looks like, you could be getting a move over the next wee while. It would be lovely. There's loads of entries here. If you want to wait, you'll probably have to pay more for it because this is a bullish accumulation pattern on RSI. It's done it a number of times in the past. It's doing it again. Dead obvious. And there's some of that for you. Look there, it's real dead obvious. Now I've got up there, you've got everything you could possibly want to see there. Wow, that was generous of me. I should get that off. It's too good. Sorry, Jamie. So stop that. Okay, so what else are we looking at now? Something else. Somebody said look at something that's been strange. What were we talking about? What was it? We could talk about whatever you want. EGRNF. Somebody asked for it before, and it's made a 14.9% move today. That's not bad. This thing, though, is very dangerous. Here's your weekly time frame. Like we say, very, very, very dangerous. But somebody's made a good move on that. Here's another call Rocky made about, look at this. Well, I mean, we were all talking about it, Rocky and I, and the people in the Discord. You got this downward sloping channel, you broke out of it. At this point, Rocky said, maybe it's a good point to time to long the VIX, right? Boom, 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 boom. Not does that just mean you can long the VIX and use that to hedge against other trades, which you might have. It also means that there's other things that are likely to experience a high degree of volatility, and you should bear that in mind when you're trading them. So this was a fantastic call from Rocky. Thank you very much. You should also be following him on Twitter. Rocky, Outcrop.tez, I think. There he is in chat. Yay, 169. So right, yeah, you had this. It's also a parallel channel. You're going in at the top side of it. You tested your downward sloping supply line at the same time. You got like a doji here, but you'd also done a positive bullish wicks beforehand. It looks like it might be about to turn a corner and start pushing up, and you'll see like maybe it goes up to 38 in the next period of time, which is great because you can use that to anticipate volatility in your across your portfolio. You can also use it to trade volatility arbitrage on loads of different things. Those things most likely to be the things which have demonstrated a relatively high degree of volatility when they trade within their own median, whereas other things would be outside their own standard deviation, like they would be much tighter within their own standard deviation. And so then when the extremity picked up, so like, for example, VIX going crazy, then those other assets that have demonstrated, anyway, whatever, right? You understand the concept of the strong get stronger, but it's just extrapolating that. And so GME, also we're looking at the VIX thinking that's great news for it. What else has been happening? People were talking about GREE. You might have a chance of that turnaround. I don't know how it was that this company has managed to do so terrible when they've actually, if it is, it's not GREE, it's GREE, not GREE. Yeah, GREE. Well done, GREE. Yeah, you've managed to move, but you captured your 200 period moving average. If you can keep that up, fantastic. HGEN, here's one that people were really interested in. You've just got your retrace down. It's nearly touched a 50 period moving average in 15 minutes. That'll be a reason for it to bounce. Onto the 4 hour, you can see we've got a lot of different price action on the go. Here was this downward sloping negative pattern, this triangle. You potentially broke out to the top side of that, but really it was just different horizontal. You had put in extreme moves within it. They were all divergent on your RSI. Then you had this awful, whatever it was, news. You've got a number of areas you might move to with a huge gap to fill, but it's dangerous at the minute. And we were talking about re-entries in at around $4, but before then you'll get big moves. And you've had a 3-point-something% move today. By the close, it was more earlier. Anyway, 18-period moving average is still dangerous as this, though you have put in a lower low. Your RSI was brutal, and then it was like a recovery testing towards the top of the bearish control zone. Does it come for a little bit more of a test before? Because this 18-period moving average is a 4-hour time frame. That's significant. It's not really broken any horizontal. Does this continue for a while before moving back up, at which point you've got an excellent trade to topside? I think a seriously good trade coming on HGEN. ADMP, you're above your 200-period moving average again, but trapped below your 50, so although it's a big percentage move at 2.9 today, is it really like everything? I don't think so. That's it, like that's all that's done anything good to the top side. We've had moves to the bottom, which were really interesting. A lot of my alerts went off on things like PLTR. So we had this move, right? So we've had a number of trades on this recently, this long. If we took here with this measured move, I can't really remember where that worked out fucking beautifully. Then you had another long here that was potentially a good place to open now, either on that 618 that I put an alert on to say when I go through there I'm interested in it, or down here at around 22, 24, 22, 30, 22 spot 30. That might be a good place for an entry where you previously had a stop. It would also lead to a higher low on the macro trend. You might get a better trade on the top side, but you could manage it with just the same sort of risk reward as your previous trade. Something in and around, what is that? Give me my actual answer there, buddy. 5.38. Okay, that's perfectly acceptable trade there. And you could be looking to enter this somewhere around 20. Yeah, I said that already, and then take profits on it 27.20. And maybe it does put in some stronger move and get up to 31 now, and it could be the sort of thing that it does. Like if it now has completed all it needs to prove to everybody it is an inverted head and shoulders, should it turn around, at that point you'd need to see it go beyond the 236 if you're measuring it from this low to high here. That comes in at 24.47. If you can recover that and you've already entered it, and then you see opens and closes, you'll be above your 200-period moving average. You'll have put in a good test of it. You'll have put in another higher low and a series of higher highs, which is positive. It's like comes at the site, the bottom of that bound trend. I don't know if you can call this. You can't, obviously. It's nowhere near an inverted shoulders because it comes at the top of an uptrend, though it is in a potentially a similar picture to what we've seen with other things with. Where is that high? Here. Test that line, having broken out of it. This be some sort of accumulation pattern. Looks like it might be. There was your initial wedge channel. That's if it's a descending triangle. Obviously it proved to have positive reasons, but you've got another overarching demand line coming under the bottom that comes from where, whoops, price action. What took you up here? What took you up here so it did, what did not, what did so it didn't? And you could put a strong case. Stop doing that. Case on it being something like that, right? Which a lot of people obviously clearly did, not just the 618 retrace, which is fucking obvious reason to trade it, but then it gave it this pattern, right? Gave it, and now it's got it, and there's no getting away from that because everyone's trading it, and so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. This looks like more like a pennant, and then topside on a move like this could be up at $45 again. It could do that. I would be wary of it, and that's why I've got horizontal levels all over the shop. 28.95, 31.24. There's also a diagonal sloping demand line that might turn into supply going through here, and 618 above you up at 27.09 looks interesting too. And at that point, you might be able to manage that position, get your initial money off the table, and then see how the trade goes. If it was, that's what you're doing, though this isn't financial advice. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we've done TA on loads of different fucking things. What else? What else did we do TA on? I think might be good. Unfortunately, AHT is down a chunk. So it hasn't managed to go anywhere other than where we thought it might potentially. So it's in here, still in this zone, retesting these moving averages. We want to see it moving up to 236 at 1911, and then we can say, well, stress is gone. if you feel like stressed about it, you've got your body close there, your previous low. You've got, if you are looking between your lows, either this pulls back and you test your bearish control zone again, or it comes up and you test your center line, which would be a positive move to make now, coming up to test the moving averages haven't come down, but you have put in a lower high on this 4-hour time frame. That's convergent with the RSI, so there's no warning signs. You've got a cross on your DMI, your RSI, but at the same time your ADX is like saying there is no strength to that trend. And then in terms of momentum, nothing really to say clear yet, other than it's been a while since anyone seriously sold any of this thing. And so it's probably likely just demonstrative of the flux that you see during the accumulation pattern period, and that it's also hard to say exactly what sort of formation this is. The inverted head and shoulders side of it's a bit cramped on the left to be so wide on the right, and then having put in this higher high and then this test of this horizontal level makes you think, not so much. Here's your previous gap. That would be slightly higher. You're back within it here, so is the head and shoulders even valid? Like, it would hard to be, at the minute you'd have to say, well, I'd look to something else in that, in which case maybe just the right hand side of price action here, higher lows, higher highs. Positive accumulation RSI, similar picture, that's convergent, nothing about this to worry about. Horizontally, yeah, you would test that area. People worried, that's fine. It's all about when it picks up its pace of its trend, which at the minute it's just not got. That must be frustrating. If you're desperate for it to move, then I can see there's like some sort of wick on your 1 hour time frame taking you back to your horizontal. Interesting. That's an entry for a lot of people. It's still in this zone, still in this entry zone. It's all about entries at the minute for this thing. Stops significantly down here, 1307, some of them, 12 and 19 others. You know, depending on where your entries are. If you're entering this right now and you're worried about it, then you do it is a little bit tough. You'd rather have it open and closing above this demand line / supply line. At that point, you'd hope it would be, and it's not actually either. It's my horizontal. This is diagonal for the head and shoulders. I was pretending that it was real, but let's see. Maybe, right, open and close above that 200 period moving average, something to look at in the hourly that would be positive for it to do. But you really want to see strength in that. And you're just not seeing it anywhere. It's just nobody's selling it and there's no strength in it. So people need to see it do something, I suspect, because they're worried. But the thing if it does do anything is crazy, because the gap up here, the way that their company's structured and the debt suggests that it could easily go up a big chunk. And if it does recapture this 236 and come in, it's like this is such a classic trade, you know. This could easily go to $39 and be, you know, sure it's a huge percentage move, but this formation working out like that, it's just so classic. So like we'll see how it works out over time. Though at the minute it's in flux and everything at the time telling you there's no strength to either trend to either side. So that's usually what happens before a retest anyway. You want to see conviction, and at these levels, if it's not getting pushed lower, that's a lack of conviction to the overall trend, and so you'd expect to see a reversion to the other side, right, or a reversion, a reversal, and that previous high in at $79, and this over, like, you know, again, people will be looking. There's so many areas horizontally to test on this that this diagonal likely does take it up, you know, likely does over a period of time. I don't know, but likely it does prove to be the peak of the next move. And that if that comes in at 1272, then it'll be around $136, and it's currently at 14. So there's that to think about. And it is difficult to trade stuff like that, but that's one way to go with it. And you have to manage that carefully. So that's that. What else are people interested in? You know, I'm telling you guys, and you aren't telling me. 10% drop on rights. You dropped below your 236. So you came into these horizontal levels. And what did I tell you, guys? There's another incredible trade spotting from the future. Here we go. Okay, you covered 236. People were excited about it. It made loads of good moves at the time. I said, no. Here's your horizontals, and here's come down. It's got to the very bottom one. That's excellent. Does it bounce there? Likely capture the 50 period moving average on that daily time frame. We'll see. 4 hour drop below your 50. That's where people were scared, but it only came to the place I'd want to buy it. 1 hour Here you're testing this previous area you broke out of. Now you know why Tradespotting's in it. And then down to the 15 minutes. You need to cover that 18 period, and then you'll start talking about upside targets. But until that time, you might be buying more of it. Should it get down a little bit more? We'll see. A little bit in it at the minute. Could get bigger position. I do like this how it's reacted over a longer period of time, 12 hours. Bullish divergence, 236, drop below that. You know, so fucking what, right? This is putting this huge chunk of bullish divergence. 336 nothing, it likely gets to the 200 period moving average, and that if that's at the 50% line, then you could see the trend might continue along with Dow theory, and so that's up at $12.28, and currently the thing's at $5.85. That was the market close. The post market you've got it at $5.96, but ride's looking nifty for paying the bills. It really is. Thank you very much for that, Tradespotting. That was excellent. At Tradespotting, thanks, mate. Thanks for all you do. You're welcome. Could you take a look at VBIV, please? Okay. VBIB. Have I read it wrong? VBIV. VBI vaccines. It's the VBI. Get down. Get down. It's the VBI. It's right. Okay. Get down, get down, pew, get down, pew. Okay, so weekly time frame, 50 period crossed above 200. That was positive. Price action subsequently is held to 50 for most of it. That's also very positive. If you got a test of $2.45, that would be a buy. Oh, yes, it would be a buy. You'd also be able to put then a really tight stop loss on and say, well, if it got then to 229, it's a get fuck out of my portfolio. I don't want you. And then sure, you might be then at 209. You might be like, hi, darling. And then you might be like, it gets down to 194. You might be like, get out of my bed. And then you'd be like, oh, I'm not interested in it at all now until I see it way down at less than 50 cents. Otherwise, right, you've got a really good new partner here at 250. If you get anywhere under 250, lovely jubbly. Probably a good test. This looks like a pennant off the back of, and then probably a bull flag. And in the meantime, it's a recovery from this drop down area that took you, probably above the 886. So let's measure this from this high down to this low. It went straight through you went above your 886. You got a full retrace on that Fibonacci. Absolutely excellent. Thank you very much. We're looking to your next horizontal. Happens to be the extension of this Fibonacci. It's at $20. What the whoa? What the whoa? What the whoa? What the whoa? Do you get a 236 test before that? Maybe, right? You maybe do. If you do, fantastic. But that'd take a while, and then you'd be talking about this saying, well, what sort of move is it? We go from this as its previous high. Deal was down at its low. Here's your 236. Likely that proves to be, and I don't need to say proves to be, 'cause it's already happened, resistance in a bit, and you're below it, and then you're at the 200. Do you catch the 200 and then go up? That's the thing. It's now a really good entry. Is it? This is one entry point. Open and close above that in a 4 hour. I'd be interested. Otherwise, test this. I'm interested. Otherwise, there's a sneaky trade here or a really, really tight stop loss. Or you could just go like down to there, right? So let's even just put that one. Long position, please. Long position, please. Please. Why does it do that? Stupid ass tool, man. Fucking idiot. No, I know it's just a tool and it's not a person. This didn't work out either. What are you doing, man? There's your entry. Now this is a sneaky trade. It's obvious where I've just drawn the line, so you can draw like your real, actual good trading. But you make it in this, and there's not much of a stop. Like, we'll see what I'm saying, right? If it does take it up to the 2618, why are you talking about that, Jimmy? Let's take it to the 1618. Let's take it to 1414. That was what you were doing, Jimmy. Be sensible, right? And it's still a 30-to-1 trade. 30-to-1. You got an edge anywhere in the world? You got an edge. That probably. So because of that, loads of people are going to trade this. Absolutely, loads of people are going to trade this. And I'm going to take that move, and it's dead freaking obvious to every single one of them. There's your stop loss for the sneaky trade. There's your real entry here at $11.80. You've got another one at $2.47, and if you break above it and hold it in a 4 hour, you've got another one at $3.29. If all of those fail, then you've got a re-entry at 91 cents, and if that doesn't work, then you don't want the thing until less than 50 cents. But it quite likely does try and push up. That was a real strong move, and that's like proper pincer recovery. And then afterwards, you'll test something. Is it horizontal? Is it a Fibonacci? Well, both of those so far could also be some sort of, what sort of formation? Is that an inverted head and shoulders? In which case you're looking at these sort of lows, which is what it's already come in and done. Do you then take it in down here and say, well, something at 135? Well, fuck, maybe, but at that point it's gone through all the more interesting areas that would be better and have tight stop losses. At this point, you'd be like, well, it's a 236 retest, so you'd be, well, that horizontal wouldn't mean much. And then this wouldn't look like an inverted head and shoulders. Still, it'd be a good trade because you've got a different stop loss there. No, you don't want to enter that down there either. You just want to wait. Fuck, till 50 less than 50 cents. This is where you want it to get it and for it to go. They've drawn stuff on there that never confuses the picture. But if it is an inverted head and shoulders, then you've got your entries. This is a place to go for it, and then you've got a stop loss that's really tight. Should price action get down there, and you've got a really good trade on that. It's 30 to 1. What did I was supposed to look at? That was on the weekly time frame. Didn't do much on it yet, other than to say, although I should go back and point out the first thing that jumps out at me when I look at this on the weekly time frame is this is in a downtrend, right? It's in a downtrend that's taken it on the weekly time frame to it beyond its all-time lows. At which point it tested them and it said it's not even worth the thing. It was previously never worth, like, less than. It's now not even close to being worth that. And it went on and made lower lows. And then it came up and it was so shit that it couldn't even break a basic horizontal in its own move and fucked off down to the bottom side again to the point where it got to less than 50 cents and was absolute shit and complete muck, and nobody wanted it. And why would anyone buy it? And then because people did, it's now put in this move on the charts. Because of that, there's a future for it that looks like it might test slightly higher, 1894, and that it would have to break horizontals right, left, and center to get there. So we'll see. We'd expect a lot of flux, and you've already had a lot of that, so continue that. Also, you can see across this thing, we did it a little bit earlier for this, but look at this, the body closes, body closes. That's downward sloping. This is what would be expected in a downtrend. You want to see it break that, and so that's why this, despite being a pincer move and a potential head and shoulders, isn't actually interesting. Really interesting until it's above $5.83. At which point, then it was nearly going to go at $20. But by that stage, you've missed, well, you've missed a big chunk of the move. So there is shitloads left on it. 300%. My Facebook addict friends have been texting today more than usual. Haha, poor Facebookies. The poor Facebookie friends, yeah? So overall, the markets have behaved in a certain way today. Why is that? It's because of the American debt ceiling and the way that the Democrats and the Republicans each think they should sort out. Democrats want people to extend the debt ceiling via a different type of measure that essentially means just borrowing more money. And the Democrats want to do it in a way that, like, is more to do with the way it's paid back what they currently own and so on and whatever. And maybe that's not exactly an accurate way of describing it, but it's not really the point. It's that there is a distinction between the way the two of them want to do it, and its depressing effect on the market is causing things to go down. That's what's happening at the minute to most, if not everything. Facebook in particular is a little bit dodgy at the minute, right? Because its own investors, those good friends of Mark Zuckerberg, are suing Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, the company that they own a huge chunk of, because they feel that the fine it most recently paid for the Cambridge Analytica scandal was so very high to protect Mark Zuckerberg from personal investigation and likely his own fines that he'd have to pay. And so in order to, like, go a certain way, these shareholders believe or allege that that's what has been negotiated. And would that be possible? Well, it's very difficult for people who invest in Facebook to go on anything other than how the mass media report the news, and so easy event psychology stuff, or the charts. That's the only real way to trade Facebook. And even if you're an investor, it's very unlikely that you'll have those shares that will make a difference because of the way the company's structured and the preference shares. And the fact that Mark Zuckerberg owns absolutely everything, he's managed to raise loads and loads of money, and he still owns all of Facebook and all control of the thing, despite how many people may be on the board and their role on it. So Facebook itself is under a little bit extra pressure on top of everything else. Though I can't be arsed looking at his chart or any other hard work because I have just smashed it today. Boom, bang, bong, bash, bosh, ball. Bing, bang, bash, bosh, billy, lil, bong, bong, bing, bang, bong, billy, bonk. So I've been on for... how long? Where does it tell me? Somewhere, right? Probably tells me somewhere. I don't know. And we've got 189 people viewing. That's great. We've managed to get 256 likes. That's good. It's still an alarming downtrend. But what can you do, right? I'm still here doing it. So it is what it is. People like it. Maybe they'll tune in and make some money and change their life because it's the best thing going on YouTube. Where's that? Where's everyone at? This is Tradespotting's Monday Milk. Where is everybody? Could have done anything you wanted for 60 seconds TA. You just needed to ask me. But now I've done through it. It's now 10 o'clock at night. Done longer than 60 seconds on everything. What's up? Where's everybody? Why everybody seems happy? Nobody seems desperate for anything. Sorry, you're a victim of student loan grift. Aye, fucking. Who's that? Sorry to hear it. It's pretty much everybody, isn't it? Facebook sucks. It does. It sucks ass. What time is it there, bud? It's 10 o'clock. Price is grievously incorrect, and he's right. Banana freeze, you're certainly right. Is Wolfric Doomslayer here? Because if so, we're going to slap off, whap off, chop off, dispose of, and then speak with the head of Supernova, who has already changed his name in anticipation of his sacrifice, which is happening this evening. If he's here, are you here, Supernova? Are you here, Wolfric Doomslayer? If not, we'll need to observe myself to do the swish wash and the chip chop. We'll take off somebody else's head. When nearing the tip of the triangle, Drew Salt, you sticking your head above the parapet there. Is it because you want it chopped off? Looks like it. Homer's Ghost. And I am not a cat. TA on turnips. Boa on the root vegetables. We'll have to do some on the root vegetable futures on the root vegetables. It's a great time of year. I am a victim of a student loan. I hold onto my GME though. Good man, guy or girl. Lady, female. That's the word that the ladies love. Shut up, Jimmy, you stupid idiot. So glad Facebook's down. I hate Facebook and their business ethos. Shit, fucking, they knew that it was causing, what was it? Those 13% of people in the UK, girls in the UK had suicidal thoughts directly, were able to link them to Instagram. And like 6% of the people who, in America, allegedly, I don't know for sure the figures, but like that's a huge percentage that for one company to be causing that much of a public health issue. It's like proper CCP levels of not giving a fuck about your population. Like, I know you're making money on the advertising and whatnot, and you get like, but come on, right? Come on, for fuck's sake. Ridiculous. Social media is the leading cause of depression. Quite possibly, Drew. That and fucking alcohol. Not that it matters, because on Friday, we combine them both with Trade Sloshing Fridays. And we make it so much fun that it's worth any amount of dopamine inadequacies later on in the week, isn't it? Right, it is. It is. So I've had a lovely day. It's been fantastic talking to you all. Nobody seems to want anything else. We said we cover it. It's all good. We've done SMTA. Didn't need to do anything on AMC because Rocky's video was so fucking good. Honest to goodness. Where is it? Can somebody get me the link to that video, or I'll get it myself maybe. I go like this and I go YouTube. There's me. 200 people watching now. Holy shit, that's way more than it was. Please hit the like button. And then this is the it's not really 200 though, it lies to me. That's Rocky's channel. That is that. This is this thing. This is the wrong thing. I'm not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. And that. And don't start playing on me. And then shit. And then copy. And then I come back over here and I put it in the chart. Check, chat. Send. This is a video you should all watch. You should watch it now, right? You shouldn't wait for me to leave to watch this video. You should like this video, and I replace my pinned merchandise there, which cost $950, right? Which I was hoping I'd get a sale on because that's how much the today's TA was worth, minimum, but I didn't. So I'm just a poor porridge eater, and I'll be back to the porridge and salt bars tomorrow. Despite the fact that they're full of Coco's hair, what can I do? Not very much. Who are we cat trafficking? We're cat trafficking Coco. Get her back on the cameras, whether she likes it or not. Thank you, Jimmy. We love you. Dead by Chipmunk. Ah, thanks. Tradespotting. Can you look at Shibu? Oh, fuck yeah. Sorry, Shibu Inu. Oh, it was Shibu Inu you wanted me to look at. Yeah, Corey's Headless Ghost. Searching around for the name that suits you best now in your afterlife. Shibu. Shibu. Yeah, we're looking at it. Shibu. Do you want to look at it against Tether on Binance? Yes. Okay. Let's look at it. It's up 50%. Oh, it had a bit of... J. That's not a J, Jamie. No, but this is J. What's that? That's a C. It's not a C. Well, if you flip it around, it would be. We're not mirror reading. No, we're not. 2 day, good move. Your horizontals, the body close high. Your wick took you to your horizontal levels. Pattern resistance likely on that time frame. We'll go down before we start drawing anything. No, daily. Drawing these in on the left, right? It just so happens to be where this wick came in at. And then these are the areas. It's pretty freaking obvious, isn't it? There's your body close, that's the last body close, and then there's the wick here. Right, that's the daily time frame. All horizontals there on the top side. And then there's probably shitloads on the bottom side there. Well, you've got these number of them there. That's the reason. Nothing else though. Then the next one's actually only down here. Breakout zones. Well, why? Okay. So I'd say that's what it is on the daily time frame, more or less. Your Venetian TA, and then you come down. Come up to your 236. It's rejected from it. That is a rejection. That wick when you look at that 236 and you see the horizontal that it hit, and you see there that is a rejection currently. Though we'll drop down to the 4 hour to determine whether or not just that wick alone has managed to create a valid Fibonacci. It may well have done so. Go from our ultimate lows, draw this in. We'll check it there first. And you have still, despite that huge extra help we gave it with the distance, the 236 is much further away than it would be if we'd used, say, for example, that low, or worse still, the breakout area low. Even if you take it from giving it the very most generous, is still back below your 236. So this is now becomes like very important for you. I mean, I'd say it's very important, but I'm talking about Shibu coin, so literally nothing I say is important, right? Because it's absurd that you'd be trading this for anything other than the pump and dump. That's why you're trading it, right? Either it's just for the dump, maybe even. And here's your 236, and here at your previous horizontal is your 618. So there's your horizontal levels that we drew on, all because of shit that happened fucking ages ago, is now relevant for your 236, which is created because of its own high, then allows you to draw in this Fibonacci, which tells you the 618 because you've broken your 236, and that comes in at horizontal. On its own move, you can see at this point, it previously did come back and retest this. On the 4 hour, let's drop down to 1 hour, you can see that's your horizontals still the same, 50%. Not really relevant there. 382 though, perhaps. So that's too close. So take it down. We'll say there's your 382. If you think it's going up, that's your entry point at 382, not 1155. Or if maybe you're looking for it to get back to like way less than that at 0.0000952, or those knots you could have heard 0 At which point there'd be an easy entry, right, for a probable bounce that takes you back up to 0.0001155 again. And that's like a very healthy trade there. But other than that, I don't trust this for shit, for good reason. And likely you do see this back at not anything I'd ever buy or even trade for the pump and dump, because there's other shit, and this is taking the fucking piss. That's what this is doing. This coin's taking the fucking piss out of people. So you've made that. It's a failure of the 236. Likely this is like actually a really good short, and who knows what it goes down to. Because like I say, it's a piece of shit. Though everything's picking up and doing well. I mean, I know what it goes down to myself. It's down there at like lots of zeros and ends in 131. That's likely what it does if it falls off a cliff, which is what it'll do if it deserves it, though, and it does deserve it. Though if it doesn't and it recovers as 236, then it'll go back up to not 3148, which is actually quite a huge percentage move. It's incredible. At that point, you'd be laughing your face off. Does it test its previous high? Maybe at some point this thing does. You know, other things have done it. You know, there used to be a time when XRP was a complete fucking joke, that the people who owned it and created the coin were trading against their own holders of their own coin, own customers, and wash trading and doing all sorts of fucked up shit, allegedly, right? And then during that time, XRP was making crazy moves, making loads of money for loads of people, and Rocky was doing incredible tea on it, and so was I, to be honest. Some sort of fucking crazy ass shit a few times. But regardless, you can make money on things despite knowing that it's a complete fucking joke. This isn't one that I choose to do it on. There's others that are less of a joke, less offensive. But your 618 is what you're looking for if you cover the 236. And that's cool. It's a good move. Lower high here, comes back, then fails. That would scare a lot of people, rightly so, because it's crap. But you get up there, you get some sort of test on that. It's another good extension on this. Maybe it takes you up to there, the 2551. I could say all the zeros, but like, who cares, right? You have to get zoomed in that, see what I'm saying maybe on the screen. Pause it. Feel free to pause it and watch it again. 290 likes, 187 current viewers. Fantastic Tradespotting. Will you check out LAUR? I will for you. LAUR. Okay, cool. What is this? Laureate Education Inc. Are these the people you own your student loan to, or who are these people? Commercial Services, Miscellaneous Commercial Services, Laureate Education Inc. Do they own education properties, or what? What are they doing? $886. This is it likely at a high, you know. Your 50 period there at 1544, does it test that, or does it test your 200 period moving average, which is currently at 1349 and still got a negative slope? And I've been sat at a weird angle and now I've hurt my back. Ow, ow, boom. Right, so you're 886 and then above that, a full extension. I don't think it's going up there yet. I think it's got another thing to test bullet. Let's see though. RSI, it's not positive. There's divergence on the last wee bit of it. It's on the 2-day time frame too, so it's likely obvious here. Yeah, real obvious divergence. Get the fuck away from this. If you want to short it from here, it's going to 1464 likely. Use your golden pocket, come back and test this area again. After that amount of divergence, it usually tests to 200, and there's your daily 200 rank amount of divergence. It's already pushed the RSI down to the center line, and then came back up and back into the bullish control zone. Well, is it? No, it's just under it, and it's out its own moving average. It's catching it again now. So like the best you'd look at this is when it's in its 14s, right? Maybe not that exact centimos, but 14 something. And then looking left, 1179 and 948. I would be the entries I'd be looking at. People will get it at 1101 should it get there too. Just at that point, I wouldn't be sure, because on this weekly time frame, this thing isn't defined any particular trend in its entire lifetime, other than one higher high, one lower low, and now you're back potentially at its previous higher high, which is also the 886 retracement from this drop down. this is unlikely to go higher from here, right? It's also a historical high for the RSI, despite the days after it launched, or a number of weeks really. But whatever, like that was just from beginning when people really wanted it, and the people who owned it sold it and dumped it on everyone, and then it recovered and then dumped down and lower on everyone, and then back up here. 886 likely does some sort of test lower now. I wouldn't even want to long this until it was doing opens and closes on the weekly charts above $20. I wouldn't want to long it. I'd be worried about it. 3-day time for it may well do fucking fantastic and put in now another higher high. It's just like until it breaks that line, it's not going anywhere. And that line's probably going to be important for a number of weeks. There, 236 is what looks more interesting. This horizontal here might be what catches it beforehand. But there's nothing really other than that to say it. It's only one touch, so I'm not going that. 3-day, 2-day, more interesting things then. This line comes interesting at 1262. 200 period moving average on daily time frames was like 4 hours in line with horizontal support. Just, okay, yeah, well, means it not actually the same place. I should go back and say this. This comes in at 1484, 4 hour. Get a little bit extra, 1561. There's higher highs within it. It's divergent there. Divergent within that. Class B divergence. It's divergence 1, 2, 3 touches of it. 2 touches. Another anything pushes up again. It'll be a third. Doesn't need a third. No, it's already tested to 50. It loses that 18. It's coming down to the 200. That's at 1563. And that's the first place you'd look to go along on this if you desperately had to. Then on hourly, maybe you are getting 9. There is an area here where people will like it, and you've got your 200 period moving average. Tested it once, it didn't get back into the bearish control zone. It's back above the center line. That's very positive. If it just goes up and catches the 50 here, and there isn't a trade there, this at 1758, which is nowhere really. You're looking, and you got to take profit again at 19. You got to, and then you take profit again. Then at the next levels at $21. So there is a trade on there. It's just risky as fuck. Real risky. It's all about this holding the RSI, holding the center line on the hourly time frame. That'd be the first sign that you were in the right. Well, second sign, because the Rocky Outcrop's DMI is already giving you a potential buy signal when it came down here at the 16 and something. There was like an obvious trend change despite that price pullback, and that divergence is very good. And then you've got also it's that and the 200 period test on the 1 hour, so it's such an obvious entry, and then because of that, that's such a fucking obvious entry. Anyway, you got your 18 period moving average and whatnot here, so it's still a bullish move. It's still putting interest on it if it can hold that center line. It's just there was bearish divergence, 1-2 big touches on macro time frame, so likely doesn't go much more. But if it does, then it's going to 21.51, and that's an excellent trade. Minutes says it's going down to at least a 200. This is 618. I just kept going. 886. Looking to see this. If it does come down, you know, I wouldn't take any of these trades. I don't know what it's doing or what it is, but if it gets there, I would be interested in that. Oops. Yeah, it's fucking miles away percentage-wise, but you know, I just don't know. Like, I'm not getting anything. Like, this has been, it's made it to the 886, and then it's been divergent. It's just like classic crap. 200 test. I'd see it at the time, watch it, and watch other people take that trade, but it'd have to be shouting at me in loads of ways that it isn't at the minute. That's awful. it looks to me like it's building negative momentum despite it going up here like this. And despite there being a positive cross here. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is like, that's like why price action is here, not rather than where it's going in future. And as I was saying, it's giving it signal. So it's all about what it does. On the 1 hour, the RSI doesn't hold that center line. And at the minute, you know, maybe it does, though it doesn't look like it's going to do it with any conviction. And then subsequently, it probably will fall down. And those levels at the 200 on the 4 hour, that's interesting. You know, and if how it goes, I'll see. But then I'd look down here, 236. About $9.48 autumn growth. That's there. So love you all, but I think we've done it right for a Monday. Oh, well, shit, my neck now. What's going on? I'm sitting awkward. That's what's happening. Ugh. Agents 21 sounds pretty sus political and stuff. And if are showing losses, I don't know about XRP though. XRP has got a lot of positive news about it. The problem with XRP is that everybody imagines that it's going to be used in future for transferring money from one person to the other. That's going to be the use case for XRP. What's it called? The word for that again? It'll come to me. Anyway, there's actually better technologies out there for the same thing. Way, way better. And that is that. But the business purpose is obviously clear, but there are better options. Wait, I found something on Street Insider RE, $7.01 div for LAUR. What do you mean? Wait, what are we going to see here? What will we see? What do we see? What do we see? Justin Pickerel, love you, Jimmy. Love you, Justin. How's everybody? Tradespotting, can you please take a look at Gazprom, considering it as a long-term hold because of the energy shortage? If my thoughts are stupid, just tell me now and I won't spur my feelings. Sky, no problem. I'll tell you, first off, right, I'll tell you that at the end of last week, I entered a short position on natural gas. It's short, it's small, but it's making me money already, more than a lot of people would have imagined. And it's all overplayed, the idea of the energy crisis. Also, you'd be able to see that in the fact that what they're talking about mostly in those other areas outside of America, then therefore, like, that's why the Dixie went, USDGBP, that's what we'll look at. There's a good example of something. No, I'm not saying you don't want to trade this thing, right? I'm not saying you don't want to trade the gas and whatnot. I'm just saying, like, go to the daily time frame here. And this drop, right? Why did this drop happen, right? I'll tell you why. Because the energy crisis is not real. It's not real. It's made up. It's nonsense, right? It's absolute nonsense. Not that I think that was what was truly driving price in the first place, though. There is like this knowledge now that there isn't that, and so that's had a depressing effect on price action today. And also the news in the American stock market's reaction to Biden and Mitch McConnell having their, as is tradition, thing that they do, right? So you got your 18 period moving average. Yeah, that's likely interesting for price action. You've had a test of this cross as it happened. It was very positive, and it's likely this price action does continue. And you've got, like, you know, pretty good long-term things to look at with regards to USD, I think. And like, right, I've explained how SDRs and the World Bank and IMF and like the General Agreement on Tariff and Trades and Bretton Woods, and I've talked about the implications of the commodity super cycle, and I've talked about everything that you can possibly imagine with regards to what's going to affect USD GDP, including inflationary aspects and news that's likely to come down the road. I've also touched on what I think is happening with World War Bitcoin, right? That's in the title for a video I've got coming out soon. It's fucking awesome. It's about why China and America are fighting each other the way they are. And I think that there's like important information to be aware of that was implemented during Trump's most recent term, but was actually, you know, like deep state kind of things, Undersecretary Cratch or whatever his name is. Like, you've heard of the Belt and Road Initiative, Silk Road 2.0, and the only thing that I haven't really touched on that talks about what's going on in geopolitics and its its influence on our trades is perhaps like maybe not talked enough about the Brick and Road and the Brick and Road Initiative. What is it? Fucking whatchamacallit, the response, the West's response, and how it's being coordinated by Cratch in America, why the Chinese have sanctioned the Blue Dot plan and its evolution into the clean network, right? The clean network, the fucking propaganda on this thing's out of this world good, right? It's brilliant. It's well hammered. The Chinese one was good. They had an opportunity to call it Silk Road 2.0 and they totally missed that, and now they're going to get beaten. Clean network's a much better name, but although it does sound a little bit, dangerous. So anyway, the clean network, right? I'll talk about that a little bit more in the next wee while. But there's real serious dangers out there for your money at the minute. Serious dangers. You want to be aware of them. The person that tells you about them without giving you like loads of shite and blowing smoke up your arse, or without being a conspiracy theory, none of it is. I'm talking about it like most of the information I talk about is because it'll affect what's going to happen with your trades. So to help you be careful in that, I'm not doing it like this thing's happening and it's going to, and you're going to make $1 billion out of it. It's not really that. No, I help you do that other ways. This is like, it's not like Lou from Wall Street, right? That's what I'm trying to say. And it's nothing like any of those people on YouTube. It's just actual economics from somebody who's got a degree in it, and then and a number of degrees in it, in fact, and knows what they're talking about. And that's all it is, right? It's just that. And I'll touch on it in the next wee while. So we'll cover that shit and whatever else. But it's interesting. And what else? Why did I talk about that? Oh, because I was trying to answer the question for Gazprom. Well, let's just look at Gazprom instead, eh? Which one? Well, I just added one. What one did I add? Energy minerals, right? Well, I don't know. Where's this traded? Europe, Spain. Thanks, love. You're welcome, awesome. Look, that's so very generous. Thank you. Thank you very much. Gazprom is doing all right. It's doing very well. The part of the reason this is doing so well is also because of the pipelines and that they've got and go with Germany. And, that's also obviously dictating how they'll handle their own geopolitics with regards to distributing natural gas over this winter. But the way that they work out the price of natural gas is slightly different from the way they work out the price of Gazprom, obviously, and there is a tiny little difference, and that's that loads of shit's coming on stream from North Sea and from Denmark and from Norway and from around these areas that was currently scheduled for maintenance. Things are probably going to be better than anticipated. Plus, all of this stuff's worked out on terms of what we expect the weather to be like, and them, right? That's getting harder and harder to predict, and I don't necessarily think that it's going to be as straightforward as everybody says. For example, we could trade in Germany, is it? What have I got? I've got a euro. Must be in Germany, and I've got it on 2, I guess, right? I'll just check before I start drawing shit, but it is the same thing. ATER is cool, excellent, awesome, fantastic. So what was I saying? I can't mind. ATER. You want ATER as well? Do you? You love pushing me today, aren't you? These are freaking freeloaders. You freeloaders, yeah. Right, this is a good move. Broke through its previous resistance. Gazprom's a better option than other people. It's got divergence on this high. It's still got a positive trend and positive slope on the ADX, despite the DI plus pulling down. You've got positive momentum, though it is also divergent across its trend. 2 touches, one more at the top here. Boom, then drops. Might get an entry on this that's like a big chunk down. Like we're on the 4 hours, so like this is the way to look at this thing, right? On the weekly time frame, people buy gas futures. You want to be buying natural gas futures a month ago, when it was warm. And like so many commodity traders, there's a whole year is this. Anyway, it's just like come back up to this horizontal level. It's really important for it. And it's also, let's just draw in some Fibonacci's. Here's your high. Here's the subsequent low. 786. Does it go on an 886 up at $10? That's another 20% increase on this thing. Where do I look at? I looked at actually hope for it down at $3.82. The weekly time frame. How's it going to get all the way down there, Jamie, without some sort of collapse? Well, actually, This is just the channel it's traded within its whole life, really, despite the fact that, yeah, people were like, oh shit, there's that, we've invented this ability. And like, oh, Russia's like turned into a country that can actually, and here we have an asset that we can trade. And, you know, you're still taking a risk trading anything that's like Russian, even if it is listed in Germany and that. You're still taking a risk. Anyway, Gazprom, fair enough, right? $10.29, what is that? 4-1. What is it? $10 what? 355. Neither of the two I was saying. $10 to 3. And then that's the top side target on it at the minute. Maybe it makes it there. Maybe it makes it way beyond it. If everything goes crazy like everyone thinks the world's going to fall apart and you're $23 and you're 31, which seems like a huge percentage increase, and it is. It's just not all that different from all the other things we've traded recently. This would have to be putting in all-time highs, breaking crazy-ass records. A lot of the reason that this has gone up in prices because people are predicting a freezing cold winter. Winter weather has been confounding people recently, so I'm not sure I agree with them on that front. Am I on the right chart? Oh, shit. What screen am I on at the minute? I can't see anything. This is okay. So it's traded in this thing its whole life, apart from times where Russia was just getting invented. 618 here, does it come back and test the top side of the golden pocket up at $7? 3.34. No, yeah, likely it does. Yeah, nearly definitely it does. I'd actually look for it at least to come back to the 50%. That's at 5,750. And so you got to bear in mind, like, if you're buying these contracts, you're buying them along with other people. Likely they'd be future contracts at this point, and when's your delivery on those? And so you're having to pull that really close to you to mitigate risk, but at the same time that actually increases your risk because like these type of instruments, you want to be trading them as far out as possible, which means that you want to be buying it in the summertime. Is the best time you'll ever be able to buy this asset, this commodity, and selling it now and over the next few weeks and months when it's up here. And sure, you say there's 20% less on the move. It's like the risk on this is incredible. It could go down from any of these places. It's just hit the 786. That could be at peaking until this time next year, easily. And like the lower levels on it, your stop loss is immediately looking at something that's a huge chunk down, like more than 10%. The next one taking it down is over 30%. And then the entry I'd like to see on it is over 50% off the current price. At which point, if any other move to the top side is incredible. And so I don't think this is the hedge that you're looking for. In fact, I'm looking and have a short position in it, and I'm looking at it. I think natural gas is a fucking, like, you know, look at it, right? There was plenty of winters down here. Plenty of winters during this time, right? Plenty of them. It's not just it's cold outside, gas is expensive. No, you know, it's not the way it is. Like, so many people have lost money trading gas. So many people have lost money doing exactly what you've just suggested. So many people, some of the best traders in the world, in fact, 2 of the best traders in the world did this exact thing. One of them was, I think, Canadian. They lost everything. So I don't know. Don't bear in mind. I bull mine in mind. Gotcha. Agreed. Right, everybody's happy. Jim Bruno, is there is important to you? You want to review from Friday's stream? You have to screen record. Yo, Sarah, are you drunk? Or is it me? Am I drunk? No, I'm not drunk. It's the weekend. Unreasonable land. Look at that, Harriet Jones. Amazing. Is there stuff from the weekend? Stuff I did at the weekend was probably fucking excellent. People want to look at what else is there. ATER, people saying it's down 9.25%. What? Oh my goodness. Here's this potential demand, support, whatever, drop to the bottom side. Where's the next Fibonacci level on that? It's already at 382. This is the entry for this probably, isn't it? What did we talk about on the show here? So the lower side, here's your 382, here's your 50 period moving average. You're below the 200, so the 50 on the daily has been screaming at me, so it probably was something I've been talking about, though I can't remember. Got this horizontal area, the breakout zone. This is like screaming out for a test is 50. We've got it down to the point 4.44. Is that not what we said? 9.44 per ME. Is that not what we said? Jen, remember? What did we say the entry on this was? 4.4. Why is it not drawing on the chart? Like, why not? I've looked at this so often. Definitely would have had a number of options here. There's that above there. That was your previous high. This is a low. Oh, it could go as low as this. Oh, fuck. Did I do TA saying it was getting absolutely crushed? Sugary sugar. 14141618. This is the failure of this if it continues on down. See, but we were hoping it holds the center line there, and also important horizontals. It's broke the horizontal with the diagonal sloping resistance. It's already tested lower at the 382, so that's fine. This is on the daily time frame. Here's an entry here, and there's another one down at 835. Bet you stop it after B87 spot 17, which is miles away. You've got 618 here. If it comes in and does that at $6 and touches 618, that'd be an incredible little trade for ATR. You'd easily get a bounce up, a good 50% off that, just as a wee test of the downtrend, likely. Maybe even lower because the golden pocket comes in line with this previous horizontal. That'd be well good. That is such a good trade. Probably doesn't get there though. 50 period or where you are at the minute's likely entries on this. And the VIX is up and we move today, and what do you expect to happen tomorrow? ADA. Right, we've got good channels and whatnot drawn on this, haven't we? Hide these. Why did I jump on ADA? I could have just left there. I could have just left and said thanks. 50 period moving average 236. This is like downward sloping channel, made its way back in it. Why am I not seeing any of the drawings that I normally have here? Below the 50 on that, below the daily or below the 50? Above it on the 4 hour, 1 hour, you're below it, and above the 200. Okay, period of flux for ADA. It's probably a buy, and you're probably looking at going at 223, spot 220 again. No, maybe not actually. You're below your own moving average. You're below the center line. It's failed and it's tried, and it might roll over again, drop down. Really are looking for entries on this. 232, 236, 2.144. That might be it. This is it really. It's at 2157. You've had a number of them. I mean, it just is. Now you're at the 200 period moving average and are likely in on the trade. And you're looking again, like I'm still looking at 220, 2 spot 20. Should it get above there, you've got horizontal at 2 spot 250. And then you'll likely come in for your previous highs. And ADA over time is going to go at $10, like it is. Also, what does it look like here? Your negative trend is in ascendancy, but the ADX downward sloping. Maybe that trend's ending. Cover that 200 period moving average properly. You've had your cross. You've tested it, both sides of it, very well. You know, it all depends how Bitcoin performs. No, nobody asked me for this, so why am I doing this? Just so that everybody who hasn't subscribed yet and is watching along subscribes and click the like button. Just that's what it's for. Bitcoin dominance, right? Well, you know, geez. It did what we said it would do there again. The test of the cross. Awesome. Jeez. Well, what did we say about this? This looks good. 41.71. Does it take a bounce here? That's really strong in your RSI. I would like to see it actually hold 42.49, go on up again. Bitcoin dominance increasing means not great news for alts, despite the fact that it's, oh, you've got your re-entries on Bitcoin if they happened already. One of them has. Yes, well, was this earlier on? Cool. The best lines, yo. 47 test Bitcoin heading for 50 grand. Likely. Does it head up again afterwards? Likely, yeah. 50,500. It's looking at 50,928. It's just been doing since it started this move, and you've had your positive cross on the 1 hour. On the daily time frame, you've had that golden cross. Price action's got to the 200, got to back to the 50, closing above the 50, putting in horizontal supports above the 50. Yeah, that's very positive news for it. 786, 886. Likely they see this at 51,576. That's what I think Bitcoin is going to probably, if it doesn't break down, which if it does break down, then it's got horizontal levels where you could either get in, get out, or look to like a 42 test here again. It's still possible, without pushing higher. You haven't broken above your 618, and that price action at that stage doesn't necessarily hold the 50 when your horizontals are all below it. The 382 isn't important enough in on its own, so 236, and it could be that because it's the previous breakout zone. It's also your 200 period moving average on your daily time frame, and that might be if there is another low in Bitcoin at 45 grand and change where it comes in at. You put your 18 period moving average at 45,750. That'll move on as the days go by. It might be that's like a nice move that people get in the meantime. But I expect Bitcoin to push higher, to be honest with you, 51,750, and then next target's up 56, and then I do expect it then at that point to put in a bit of a test. If it's still going strong, it'll be at 62, and then it could easily then start putting in again crazy all-time highs. It could happen. Does still could happen, you know. So manage your positions on that front, and if it does start pushing up and breaks previous levels, I know that on the lower time frames obviously this has gone up and come back again, so that's had an effect on add-on. That's what I was trying to get an answer to, so let's go back to it. Where are you, Ada? Oh, so annoying. So yeah, well, it's a low ebb at the minute, and the Bitcoin dominance was pushing up. It's pulled back. Now you can see that it pulled back and add a push up again, yeah. And I keep doing this, and it's going to 220 or also going to 2230. Anyway, it's not bad. Just a 10% move on it there. So that's that. That's everything more than. Why don't you talk about Rolls Royce? You always get happy when you talk about Rolls Royce. I talked about Rolls Royce earlier. Sky, you're late. I've done everything today. Everything. Sky, welcome. Wholesome to you. I've done everything, Sky. It'll be there. Earlier. There may even be some angel writing chapters as we speak right now. I mean, I guess leaf blowing isn't crazy dangerous, but I'd probably find a way to make it so. Leaf blowing. You blow it. Well, no. You mean you're using a machine to do it, right? In which case, there's always inherent danger using machinery. Dink, what? You're at the beach? Oh, yeah. Nice one, Dink. Fucking go on, man. Enjoy it for me. Oh, I'm just imagining I'm in the beach. Yeah, it's brilliant. Hello, Dink. How you doing? Let's have a beer. Oh, yeah. Nice one. Everybody else is back at home trading. We're out on the beach. Yo, it's amazing. I'm not on the beach. I'm here. And it's late at night. Okay, thanks, everybody. Thank you very much for all the people who are members and Patreon, guys. It really helps support the channel. You know, it's incredible. And thanks to everybody who did any donations today. It's really appreciated. Thanks for everybody who hit the like button, and then everybody who spent even a second watching TV. It's awesome. And if you do hit the like button and watch more than 12 minutes, then you're doing more for the channel than most people are. So feel good about yourself. And it's Monday, so if you're feeling good and it's Monday, then you're doing better than most fucking people ever born, lived, or died, even to come in future. There's Wolfric. Wolfric, will you chop off someone's head? Tradespotting, could you take a super quick look at Ford? I like Ford, so I'll do that. No, I don't want to go off this. Go off that. What is that? That's not a real thing. This is all chat requests. What are you talking about? Can you go away, please? Thanks. What was that? Anyway, that's a super weird thing. Anyway, weird chart requests. Oh, like this. What is this? Show your watch list. Oh, right, this is chart's watch list. It does what? Man, this is so shit. Stuff they try to come up with. Anyway, what I'm actually looking for. Ford. Yeah. Well, it'll be on here already because I've looked at it already. Boom, boom, boom. Why is it not here? What? Ford Motor Company. There it is. It's on NASDAQ and ASC. I've got it there on... Oh, shit. I just took it off Ford Motor Company. Off. F. It was just on F. Come on. Do my drawing still? No. Fuck. Yeah. Well, it's got some drawings. Pfft. Great. Cheers. It had a pullback. It touched the 200. It caught the 50. It's on off again. Is that correct? Luke Spears Super Chat had a big chunk of my quality. Yay! Well, if I'm making Luke Spears happy, then I know that I'm doing a good job. A hard man to please. Luke Spears, no fears. Here, I was thinking, right, look, as it happens, I get this slowly but surely build up a model railway set around the well, I mean, around here, right? All around here. So at some stages, the train will be going along here and you'll be able to all see it. At other times, it'll be going through this place and it'll have the GoPro camera on it. This one here, likely that you're looking at me now, it'll be on the train, you'll be able to see it, and they'll be going through different areas. One of them will be called Unreasonable Land, and there'll be other areas to be a cityscape. And within it, there'll be different shops and that. And I was thinking one of them should be a department store called Spears. Wouldn't that be? Because there's a famous one over here. And I thought, boom, that would be hilarious. And then I was like, we'd have all sorts of things. And all the businesses, we would have Drew's Tech Repair Shop all over the place. We'd have GameStops. We could have AMC Fairs. We'd have anyway, I'm getting off topic now, am I not? But it's going to be fun. And that reminded me of it. Now, where was it going back to here again? It was something Ford, yes. I like Fords, right? They didn't take the handout as it happens when everyone else did with TARP. And have since done other things that demonstrate that they care about their employees slightly more than your average car company. So I'm a big fan of Ford. They've been doing a lot of good things in my mind. They've also made a fantastic in-your-face recovery here. Why do I always have to... Is it just because I'm a lefty myself? Come on over here. You're going on to right. Thank you. And so you made it back up to the 786 nearly. Right. Probably actually have if I haven't drawn it particularly accurately. 786 sounds about right. Looks about right. It's close enough, it's near enough. And then it came back and whatnot, and we'll do a Fibonacci on this most recent price action and see it didn't even come back to the 236 because 200 period moving average caught it. So you got a re-entry there on that was ages ago, 10th of August. Since then, it's gone from $12 to 15 or so. Most of that move came in one big spurt. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, unusual. There's a gap filled in and then on again. Horizontal resistance looking left. Just wicked off it once. Your momentum building 1, 2, 3 times in the top side of this trend, having put in more momentum and then having not gone higher. That's bearish. You haven't touched the bottom of your bullish control zone and then touched it again and not broken into it yet. That's not very positive, though you are above your own moving average, and inherently it is positive trying these things. It's just that signature is not great. Could lead to another test of the center line under RSI. And don't normally draw it on there, but whatever. And then your 50 period, there's a 50 period test that below. Like this is on your RSI, it's not divergent, but it is on your momentum indicator potentially, which is an uptrend, which it isn't really, but on the mini side of things, which it has been. So this likely means a test at least of the 50 at 1351. We have come through this negative trend and put in a thing, but that was a negative wick. If this is true, it's probably negative wick. And then ADX has turned up, your DI positive is flicked up at the same time. Cool and all on the daily, but the moves mostly happened, and that's just the end of one. Then 4 hour, your 200 there, 18 period, then there's a resistance there. It likely actually does you're dropping out of your bullish control zone and losing your own moving average, and your DI positive is turning down at an area where it likely comes back for some tests. ADX at the same time will trade. Well, depends, Depends on a number of things. Let's go down again. Hourly is about to break, right? It's about 4 hours, sorry. It's about to break, come down, test the 200 period moving average at 1398, which is also where on the daily time frame you've got your 50 period moving average, give or take, right? It's more or less the same place. 1 hour, your 200 period moving average is down at 1333. It's not all that far away. Horizontals, it's like below important levels, 1366. Simone. Yo, Simone. Did you see Rocky's AMC video earlier, Simone? You fucking love it. It's awesome. And then I did a few minutes on it earlier, but really Ricky's one's where to go. Thanks for that, Simone. It's appreciated very much for yourself and Luke and Drew's and TD Burn Guy and everyone else as well. And shit, I just fucking said 3 and forgot the others. Now I'm going to get in trouble. Dan was first. Then it was Sal. And then TD Burn Guy. And then Luke. And then... Shit, I'm forgetting another one. Okay, I shouldn't have started that because now I'm forgetting people. Sorry. Right, thanks. So you got the shit. I really have to track myself. 1366. Yeah, this horizontal likely where it comes back retest. Otherwise, you know, this is why it's tested this area at the minute is because that's this previous high. But there's 50 period moving average meeting at the time was twice as much reason for it to bounce. But it's divergent even on this early time frame. That's like quite bad, and then breaking like holding below the bullish control zone. Yeah, sure, it starts the center line, but it's below its own moving average. That's really bad. It's really divergent. This and that that was representative of what happened. But now you've got a negative slope on both. That's not good. And there was an increase in momentum as that was happening. Nothing divergent about it. A negative cross here. Can't take that as a sell signal, but it does greet me that it's come back down. 1369 might be where it goes above you. If it goes above 1478, great, because at that point you're looking at it and thinking, well, I've got an easier place to enter without worrying about risk. It likely comes and tests this area and gives me that entry and then goes on again. You're looking at for making it to moves to 1549, then up to 16, and then the top side 1646. And it could be well be that this thing ultimately goes on to test 1819. Why do we say that? I'm not getting much on that daily chart. Can I squeeze it on in? Nope, can't. Let's just go to 3-day. And you can see, like, this is not like really a high for price action. Ultimately, it's been much higher. Get another 3x on this if it goes really well, but you've got this horizontal where it's touched once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and at that point you're at $18.15. So you know, such that 5 times likely, you know, that sort of thing means it'll take a while for it to break again. Still likely does, and if it does break it, then it'll definitely come and test it again before going and doing anything else interesting. Oh, that was it. And I got another thing there. I went blink. What does that one mean? I've missed the blinks on the other thing because my Lumia stream just will not do what I told it to, and I restarted the computer and everything a number of times. It still wouldn't do its stupid thing. So it's on now, and if I click alert, see that I get the alert noise now. But what does it mean? What does it mean? I'll be able to find out after the stream. Oh no, it's Simone Cooper, and it looks weird. No, it isn't because it doesn't flow up there either. It was Autumn Grace earlier. I said thanks when I looked at the education company, not education company, education property. I don't know what they were. New member, Keir Norman. But is he a new member? Because I know he's part of the family already. Banana Freeze, bing bong. The timer is wrong. Oh shit, did I even start the freaking timer? I didn't. It's at 0 the whole time. And I've finished. Ah, there you go. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Look at my hair. It's just also gone and told me it's time to leave. Ha! What do you think, Stunk Puppet? I think it's time to leave too. Oh, excellent. And as you can see here, this is the monitors that I look at. I was trying to get it so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, these are my monitors. This is the chart. This Banana Freeze. This Stunk Puppet down there. That's the sign that says please hit like, but you can't read it because it's blurred because of the blockade. There's the big wheel. It'll be back out on Friday. And holy shit, you want to see the fucking... You want to see it, man. Actually, can I show you? Anywho, That's that. Crazy shit coming. Crazy shit. Simone, yes, watch every day. Did I miss something? Rocky's AMC, just a really good JMC, just a really good DA, just real good levels and that, just real good. Nothing else. I know you watch every day. You're a legend. Simone. Just didn't Tradespotting. Thank you, Jamie. What did I do it all? I hope I did. Shit, I forgot. I was halfway through it and I stopped. Look. What are we saying look for? Why are we saying look? Though there's fucking plenty of reasons to say it. Plenty of them. Our sacrifice, my lord. His name is Luke. Is Luke going to get sacrificed? Ha ha ha! That's like holy shit. The gods are going to be so delighted. Oh my goodness. These gods are going to... This is like Tutankhamen level shit here. Where is that pencil gone? Here you are. Of course you are. Easy to find on a day like today. Ha ha ha. He's doing it, and is Wolfric here to do the business as well? His name is Luke. Holy shit. This is some crazy ass shit. Luke's going to get his head chopped off, everybody. So, is the Wolfric ready to do it? Is he there and already? Observe thyself. Are you taking over, or is Wolfric here? I am ready. Oh, there's someone sharpening their sword. I heard it. Who is that? Who's here? Who's doing that sharpening? Oh, adding this. So obviously, look, you get added to the book of records. Is this still working? Am I still streaming? It looks like I am. And what we do today can improve our tomorrow. What we're doing today is whapping off Luke's head. So yes, he is here, my lord. Thank you very much. Make your way up the gamma ramp, Luke, and get ready to bleed out the red. We're going to whap his head off, everybody. If you're watching along, stick on your watermelon uniforms. Today is the day we want you in full regalia. We want to see it everywhere. Also, get those mouths open. We're going to be drinking in this sangria. And it's going to be painting gamma ramp a lovely, fresh coated red. Oh, we're going to enjoy ourselves tonight too. Then after we whap off his head, remember, he walks as he ascends the gamma ramp to be wrapping his limbs in palm leaves. We will bury him in the beach oven and chomp on him later. Then we will use Luke's head, the bottom part of it, to speak to the gods, flippy flappy, and tell them what we need to see. Luke Spears, thank you for your sacrifice. Oh my goodness, here we go. Swish. Is that the head or is that the sharpening? Oh, that sounds like both. Look, everybody. That's the day for it. Oh my god, that's it. That must be the cleaning off. Oh, that sounds like it there. That was it. Totally not a cult. His name was Luke Spears. We're now basking in the glory of his lovely sangria. It all lovely, red and warm. Thanks for that. It was an exothermic sacrifice, I see. We're enjoying it. Making the most of it out here. Grab him. The headless corpse. Whap it down to the beach. We're going to have a party. His name was Luke Spears. It was amazing. I wonder what his name will be now that he's dead. Oh, look. It was good. It was good. It was great. I am ready to die upon the guy. He's ready. He's ready for the Doomslayers. This is it. You're ready, Wolfric. You're the one doing it. You're going to... I mean, it's happening to Luke whether he likes it or not. His name was Luke. Is he alive or dead? It's just Schrodinger Luke at the minute. Soon to be... Well, no longer Schrodinger. Right. And more of the... Formerly known as... Has it happened? Holy shit, that was it. That was definitely it. He's a goner. Whoa, I can feel it. It has happened. Can you feel it? You know when you get that feeling? You know when you get that feeling? I got it. I got that feeling. Oh, it was lovely. Oh, I'm really starting to learn that, right? I love it now. Luke Spears, who joins some fucking legends up there. Look, you have been entered into the book of records. Your life now means more than it ever did. It also has ended. And so has the show. Well, congratulations, everybody. We're fucking sorted now. He's gone. A ghost of Dan Ernest. You would know. You've met him in the across the veil. I can only emoji so many times. Yeah, it's true. You can. It's an awful lot, but it's only so many before you expire. I feel a new ghostly spirit among us. Brad Bullish. You poking your head above the bar a bit too. I am not a cat. All these people's soon to be latterly beautiful Doomslayers. It was great. Gustav over at Dimslayer, can someone hand me a towel? That one was a messy. Crushing, and I felt it was a pretty tasty one. When emoji of corpse. Oh, KT, yes, the headless emojis. I have it here on my desktop. You can't see it, but I'll pick it up, and maybe you can actually. I'm waving it around on my desktop. Does it show up on the... I can't see it there. Does it show up? It doesn't show up on... If you could see my desktops, which you can, briefly, then you might be able to see it, but you can't... It's over here, it's over here. There it is. I've moved it. You can see it there if you pay attention. That's the headless emoji, and it will be making its way to a store near you soon. This is like Ask a Ninja. It is. It's just like Ask a Ninja. What's that? Sounds good. I'm going to go look it up. Thanks so much for everyone. Today was another amazing day. The highlight by far was Rocky Outcrop's AMCTA video. If you haven't seen it, it's linked at the top of the chat. Watch it. Like here and then go watch it. We also had Luke Spear Sacrifice. That's up there with the Dan Lasange one. Just fucking crazy. NFTs coming soon. Courtesy of help from Electro Boy. Poor chap must be snowed under with work. Saw some lovely socks he had on the other day. Get yourself some at unreasonable.shop. Thanks for all the help. See you tomorrow in morning show. Rocky's morning show. It's incredible over there. Maybe we get the bingo one to go. The bingo ticker is so good. Bingo ticker. Oh my God, by the way, bingo ticker, most amazing thing you've seen in your life. So it is. And you got to see it tomorrow. And also, I'm not